Hello, world. So today I'm chatting with entrepreneur Marsha Guerrier of Women on the Rise. Hi, Marsha. Say hi to the world.
Hi, world.
So thank you for joining me, and let's just get right into it. And let's start with telling the world a little bit about your business. I know when we first met, you were doing some vending at an event we were both attending on your Plan, Pray, Prosper planner, but I know you also have a lot of other business endeavors.
Yes, when we first met, I had newly launched the Plan, Play, Prosper planner line for women, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, students, moms, anyone that want to stay spiritually grounded while remaining goal-oriented.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was still a business coach. It was Women on the Rise NY at the time. And we have since rebranded, and we are now HerSuiteSpot, helping women advance in leadership and entrepreneurship. We're working with women that are navigating between employee and employer. And may I add, we work with men as well. It's not just women. We have men in our membership, and they too are looking to advance in leadership through entrepreneurship.
Yes, that's really important because I think it's good when women and men join together. We have so much we can learn about business and just life in general from one another. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk about it. And you did talk a little bit about it, how you started out as a coach and you were trying to get people, who were spiritually interested in keeping themselves aligned along with their businesses. But where do you draw your inspiration from?
God, how could we be talking about Plan, Pay, Prosper without mentioning him, right? He is the person, and he is the being that really pushes me to really look after my goals, my aspirations, and really forge ahead into supporting and impacting all the lives of women and men that I'm supporting through HerSuiteSpot today. And I do draw inspiration also from my clients, the many women and men, even the ones that are not my clients, but that I get to engage with, and I learn a little bit about their challenges, their struggles, and how they overcome so many things. I work with, and I'm fortunate enough to have senior level executives, CEOs in my network in my sphere, and I'm able to draw that inspiration from them in order to, one, elevate myself, and two, support and elevate other people as well.
Yes, elevating, right? We have to bring each other up. How
Absolutely.
can we get someplace else if we don't have anyone to show us the way?
Absolutely. My motto is, when we empower each other, we all rise. And it's about picking each other up as we see ourselves falling, as we see ourselves climbing. We have to look back and look forward to reaching out for a hand while we are grabbing someone else's hand.
Yeah, it really is together. Like that's one of for the Big Black Book NYC too, like join forces is one of our phrases because
Yeah.
we have to do it together.
Yeah, we can't do it alone. We were not meant to do it alone, right? I learned one thing. I learned in this world of quarantine and being a single mom and having to homeschool my 5-year-old in kindergarten. Uh, it was challenging, and I realized that I relied so much on others, and it's important that we continue that way of life, right? It's hard living in this time right now, having to be so distant from everyone. Never in a million years would I have imagined that, all of the normal things that we would do, like have a play date, it would be taking away from us, right? And it's been a year of, as I call it, I started off with Envision 2020, being able to envision that goal, being able to envision the achievements and moving forward. And then now I've ended it with the year of pain and joy, because we've been through so much pain and through so much joy. Despite some of the challenges mentally, physically, that we've all had, we have to look at it in a joyful spirit and really soak in the good things that have happened this year.
Yeah. Life's a balance, right? So it's important to keep that perspective. I think even to mention what you said earlier, like we sometimes have to look back even to see how far we've come, because
Yeah,
it can get really discouraging, especially in a year like this, right? And you're thinking, oh, I've gone nowhere. But I think if we all look back, we'll see how
yeah.
far we've come.
Absolutely. In the Plan, Pray, Prosper planner kit, and I didn't mean to really talk about this, but in the planner that I designed and developed myself, with every month there was a reflection. Within the whole book, there is a monthly reflection and an annual reflection, because you can't move forward without reflecting in order for you to properly understand what propelled you or what held you back in trying to attain and move forward with your achieving your goals. So it's important to put the blinders down and really see clear and focus on understanding all of your strengths and your weaknesses. And we can't just sit around and think that everything is going to be positive and we have only strengths and we ignore our weaknesses. Understanding our weaknesses helps us build better collaboration, because we know what we need in others, right? We know what we should look for in partnerships and friendships and relationships, by identifying what makes us different, right? And so I think I always end the year with reflecting in order for you to move forward.
Yes, I love it. This is awesome. So many good tips. So let's kind of go along in this line. And what do you think has been the biggest factor in your success?
Alignment. So, as we talk about words, my word for 2021, I was just telling my members in our last meeting of the year that moving forward next year, we're in alignment. This year helped us get clarity, even though we don't feel that that's what this year has been about, but it truly has been about getting clarity of who we are, what we want in our lives. And next year, we have to now take what we learned this year and align ourselves with the right people in the right places and surrounded by the right things in order to achieve the things that you want. So moving forward, it's really about, for me, making sure that I'm aligning myself with the right people.
Mm, yeah, because if things are not in alignment, then we make mistakes with who we join forces with, so to speak.
Yep, yep. When you move forward in without the right people, place, and structures and partnerships that align to your values, align to your beliefs, align to the things that you say you want, then you really would go nowhere fast. So it's important that when you move into next year, think about, or as you're navigating 2021, and kind of taking a step back to say, hey, what do I want? And it's okay if you don't know what you want too,
Right.
right? But align yourself with the energy, right? With the spirit that you know will help you find what you want. That's also important. People think that, okay, well, only people that know what they want go into alignment together, and that's not true. You could be in a space where you're just trying to learn and understand yourself better, but in that growth you need to be surrounded by people that could give you a glimpse of who you could be.
Yeah. Who we could be. I love it. It's possibility. And
Really.
that's excitement. That's not just even true for business. This is true for life. You are dropping life wisdom,
Oh
Marsha.
yeah, this is all about life. This is not
Yes.
even about business. This is all about life. And
Yes.
the great thing about being in business, the foundation comes from your life.
Yeah.
If you talk to many entrepreneurs, they created their businesses based on themselves, based on something that occurred within their life on a personal level. Sometimes so many success stories come from, I created this product because I was hanging out with my grandmother all my life and she introduced me to baking, and now I'm the best baker in town, or whatever the story is. It's going to come from your personal life. It's going to come from your personal ambitions and passions
Yeah.
that will drive you towards entrepreneurship. So everything we're talking about today is absolutely about you as yourself.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I know you talked about alignment being your focus for 2021, but can you talk a little bit more about what the next level of success actually looks like for you?
Yes. So as you know, I've been working my full-time job and doing this. So the next level of success for me is really now creating the exit strategy into full-time entrepreneurship and or part-time employment, right? And so what that looks like for me is really opening up the HerSuiteSpot agency, because we are an agency and we hope to employ more coaches and more trainers so that we can impact and serve more people. 2021, I have made a mission to help 1,000 women and men with their leadership advancements, whether it is within their career or their business. And so that's the next level for me. We have, in the last 7 years, helped and supported over 900 people, and I'm trying to get to those same numbers within 1 year. And I know I can do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, I mean, if you help 1,000 people, then those 1,000 people can help someone else, and then we have 2,000 because we
Absolutely.
really need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So let's talk a little bit about the opposite. So the opposite of success. What is the secret sauce that you feel many entrepreneurs miss and therefore like kind of miss the mark a little bit with their success?
I think a lot of entrepreneurs fall down with their failures instead of falling with a curve, right? They say this year we learned the curve word, right? And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they kind of feel defeated, they become defeated. Feeling defeated is okay. Becoming defeated is a whole nother story,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to become defeated. What you need to do is allow your failures to feed you, allow the naysayers to feed you, and take all of the things you learn through your failures and learn how to improve, learn how to 2.0 yourself into the next phase of whatever it is you're going to do. It doesn't have to look anything like what you've done thus far. And
Hmm.
it's okay to actually start over again,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's one of the biggest misses that, entrepreneurs, especially small startups, side hustlers, we're looking at too many people that are perfect. The world is full of perfect
No,
people.
it's
Social
not.
media, right? Hello, we know. Social
Not.
media is full of all the perfect people. And because we're looking at that, and maybe you were newly introduced to this person or this brand, and you see them coming out of nowhere, new to you, but 15 years in the making to themselves, and you don't know their backstory, you don't know the struggle. People don't know that I've been doing what I'm doing for well over, they've seen the Woman on the Rise NY conference start 7 years ago, now evolve to Her Rise conference, yet they don't know the 10 years before that I've been, evolving, failing flat on my face, starting new projects, failing new projects, and then just picking myself up.
Yeah, I think a lot of entrepreneurs that I know, and myself included, we're perfectionists. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it's just better to have something than like nothing. Like sometimes done is better than perfect, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's like we're all, as you said, evolving.
But I think the biggest mistake we also do, because we're navigating between a corporate job or an established work environment and into our own, we think we have to show up the way that our corporations and our jobs look,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And that is a big thing that I have to remind people, that you don't have to create a duplicate systematic business that you are sitting in at work. You are not a multi-million-dollar business and corporation. You do not have a team of advisors and executive leaders that are pushing your mission forward yet. You have to start and and that's why in my career, I've worked with startups that come from nothing. And it's 5 of us in a room and we're like, so what are we all doing? I'm the janitor, I'm the cleaning lady, I'm the analyst, I'm everything. And and it's really been great, helpful to me to sit in those spaces of startups that really know how to act like a startup. Start lean, think lean. Don't think like $1 million running corporation because you're not there yet. But have those elements in the back of your mind in your plan. Business plans are not meant to be executed within your first year. They're
Right.
meant to guide you towards a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year run. So it's important that when you're writing out your business plan and you're looking at your long-term growth and the goals you have long-term, that's not where you are right now. And give yourself and allow yourself grace in order to allow yourself to make mistakes and move forward. The best thing that I learned in corporate America, in fintech, was to fail, but fail forward. We failed at launching so many products that bombed that we thought were going to be the next big thing. And I would sit there and I'd go, oh my God, we're gonna fail. The CEO is gonna throw in the towel, only for them to turn around and say, well, we gave it a try. What's next? And then that gave me the inspiration. If we go back to that question, that those moments and those times in my history gives me the inspiration to know that no matter what, we can persevere, we can keep going, but it is important to fail forward as you're trying to learn what is best for you and your business.
Yes. And I think sometimes we think, oh my gosh, I'm the only one who's failed. But in reality, like everyone has. It's something in some way. Yeah.
Even Jeff Bezos, the billionaire extraordinaire, he has failed, and he'll tell you his own stories if he can tell us how much he's failed. And look at him now.
Yeah. It's true. It's perseverance.
Yep.
And I think, like you said earlier, being kind to yourself, giving yourself that grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something entrepreneurs usually don't do. We don't sleep enough because somebody's telling us entrepreneurs don't sleep. You should run your business all day and all night, and it's
Not
not
enough
true.
sleeps. My gosh, you're gonna burn out and there's gonna be nothing. And then what are you gonna give yourself when you make it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So actually, that is perfect for what I wanted to talk to you about next, because especially like, you know, in New York, we are definitely known for the city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
How do you personally maintain a healthy work-life balance? What are your tips and tricks?
I'll tell you.
Uh-oh.
So one of the first anthologies I wrote is Life Balance for the Woman on the Rise. And the truth is, there is no life balance. There is harmony. And you pick and choose and prioritize when things are necessary and important. What's most important in this season? In March, I had to shift all my priorities and become a homeschool teacher for my kid, right? And so it really is about knowing what season you're in, what knowing what season your business is in, your job is in, and taking those moments and rejiggering and reprioritizing the things that are important to you. I personally, before COVID, I was always on a plane somewhere, you know, relaxing. I take my time almost once a quarter. I like to travel, whether it's a couple of hours drive away or on a plane somewhere, but I always took that moment out for myself to travel and to kind of get off the grid, as they say, right? And now what I've learned is, since that has been somewhat taken away from us at the moment, I I do enjoy time with my son. That's like always priority in my family. I now indulge in silly things like Netflix. I wasn't a fan of Netflix before the pandemic. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people found Netflix and
Yeah.
TikTok as
Yeah.
a means to kind of spend some time away from the grind of work.
Yeah, just decompress and kind
Yeah.
of check out of, like, give your mind a break.
Give your mind a break.
Minds are always going, to just give our mind a break. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so important. Awesome.
But I can't wait to go back on the plane. I can't wait to go back to warmer climates. I can't wait to go back to a pina colada somewhere under some umbrella and some sun. I can't wait for that to come back.
Yes, I would love a hammock right about now.
Right.
So, tell the world how they can reach you. How can they contact you about any of your products or services?
Oh, guys, I am fully accessible on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at HerSuiteSpot.com. That's my handle on all social media platforms. And that's Suite, SUITE,
Yeah.
spot.com. My website is HerSuiteSpot.com. You can email me at info@HerSuiteSpot.com. And if you are interested in getting yourself a planner that will allow you to remain spiritually grounded with scripture, prayer focus, you can visit planprayprosper.com. And it just so happens that I have one here, Beth.
Awesome. Yes, show everyone what it looks like.
This is the box that it comes in, and this is a picture of what you will get inside. It's the planner. You get a calendar and pocket cards with scripture, affirmations, and your prayer focus, so that you can travel with that. Because I was always on the train and I was always on the go, on the plane, I wanted a way not to have to carry my big planner with me,
Right.
but to have my prayer cards with me everywhere I went. So I developed the cards that went along with the planner.
I love it. That's a perfect example of how entrepreneurs adapt and use something from their daily life.
Yeah.
My back is killing me from carrying my planner everywhere.
Yep.
To like having just something really small you can just toss in your bag and off you go.
And stay focused.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love it. So is there any last tips or wisdom you want to share before we close out?
I want people to know that in every situation you're in and you're faced with, there is going to be pain and joy, as we learned this year, and that it's important for you to look for the joy in every aspect of your life, in everything that you do. And if you are someone who often looks at the negative, and that generally outweighs your positive, really work on changing your perspective to really find the positive situations in everything that you're doing.
Yeah, it's important. And sometimes it's like overwhelming, right? To change like a whole thought pattern. So even if it's just like one little thought a day you work on changing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you can, write one thing of gratitude per day in a night before you go to bed. Write it on your phone, write it on a post-it, write it anywhere you can. One thing you're grateful for that happened in that day. And then, at the end of the week, go back to it. At the end of the month, go back to it, and you'll begin to build that resilience and that positive energy you need in order to develop a mindset of growth.
Yes. Awesome. I love it. So thank you so much, Marsha. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Beth. I appreciate you as well, and all that you're doing with the Big Black Book. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.